Well, I'd like to bring into the conversation Mohammed Soliman. He's a non-resident scholar at the Middle East Institute in Washington, D.C. Mohammed, thank you for being with us. Joe Biden once said that he wanted to make Saudi Arabia a pariah on the world stage. So has his stance softened?
Well, I'm going to pick up on what you said. There is a triumph for realism in Washington, D.C. There's realization that this relationship is too important for the administration to ignore Saudi Arabia. Part of it is the current economic status inside the United States. The other part of it is, of course, oil prices. So it all means that Washington needs a reset with the kingdom. And I do believe that that was a very important moment for the bilateral relations to have President Biden in Riyadh at this point.
And well, how has this new stance then been taken by the Democrats in Washington?
I do believe that based on what the reactions we have seen, that some of the policymakers within the party establishment understand that there is a need for that sort of reset. Even the criticism that some of the Democratic policymakers had for the visit was subtle, was within bounds. They understood that there is a need for the president to go to Riyadh, to Jeddah, to try to get some sort of concessions regarding energy production, because the situation in the United States and the anger among U.S. consumers over inflation is very high and might actually hurt the party in the midterm elections.
Okay, well, the 2018 murder of Jamal Khashoggi seems to be a pivotal moment in world politics, I would say, and also on how the world viewed Saudi Arabia. What has been the long-lasting effect of that on Saudi Arabia's reputation internationally?
It definitely, the country took a hit. But fast forward to 2022, that's a different image, meaning you had COVID, you have the Ukraine war. That means that the kingdom is very important to many global policies, from energy to being a leader among Muslim nations to security issues that extend from Iran to Yemen to Syria. The kingdom is basically very important to be ignored on the world stage. And I mean, the kingdom is also invited to join BRICS. China, Russia initiated international group, an indication for the weight of the country and what does it mean and its weight it carries on the international stage.
So do you think that the kingdom is now hoping to use its new position with the US, if it comes out of these talks, to revamp its image internationally or in the region as well?
I think I will dispute this a little bit. I think right now we're in a global disorder, and regional powers and middle powers like Saudi Arabia, India, Nigeria, Egypt, Brazil are looking more towards hedging, meaning they're not really choosing Washington over Beijing or Moscow or vice versa. They're trying to establish resilient bilateral relations with all the powers on the global stage. And this is what a sovereign nation would do. So I don't really believe that that sort of visit will alter the discourse of the kingdom. Maybe it will make the kingdom much more open to cooperating with the Western-led bloc and the United States, but not really that much.
Well, just lastly, one of the United States' biggest foreign policy deals over the last few years has been trying to restart the Iran nuclear deal. Those attempts seem to be faltering in recent months. How does that impact the way that Joe Biden approaches these talks in Saudi Arabia?
I mean, we heard the president in Israel talking about the nuclear deal, and it seemed like the president is giving us a hint that the nuclear deal is not really going according to plan, the negotiations. And we had that statement where he committed the United States will use its national power, every element of its own national power, to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. So I think this is a very strong statement and indication that the negotiations are not really going according to plan. And also we're hearing a lot of talks, serious talks about a collective defense architecture in the Middle East. So it seems more of trying to build up a coalition that might handle the consequences and the fallout of Iran going nuclear in the near future.
Okay, well, Mohammed Soliman in Washington, D.C., thank you so much for your time. Thank you for speaking to us on France 24.